Hey guys, happy Sunday. What's going on? Hey Vicious, hey Anisha, how's it going? We're going to get started in just a second. Happy Sunday, ladies. What's going on? All right, let me go ahead and roll this intro and we will get into it, okay?
Daddy a fool. That's my plate? Daddy a fool. Daddy a fool.
Hey guys, welcome. Happy Sunday. What's going on? Let's see. Hi Vicious, hi Anisha. Hey Cheyenne, Double H, Cat, Devly Creations. Hi Taj, how are you? What's going on, guys? Happy Sunday. Guys, oh my God, what a day so far. I had a horrible night of sleep and had to jump right into things. I actually realized it was late last night. I could not find my AirPods and I have the second generation. I don't know if they're second or whatever they are. They were expensive to me for headphones. They were 250, right? And I was not happy. Okay. And I went into like the find my iPhone feature. And I was like, are you kidding me? We went out to have Mexican on Thursday and the last place that my AirPods pinged was at the Mexican restaurant on Thursday, and it was Saturday night. I hadn't had them for 2 days and literally realized last night that they were missing. I couldn't sleep because I mean, I've got a ton of headphones. Like, I have a couple of pairs of earbuds. Um, I have several pairs. So it's not a flex. I just have a lot of headphones because I do this. You know what I mean? Like I'm on social media. I'm always listening to stuff in my ears. Also, it helps me focus. All of those things. So I have lots of but my AirPods are kind of like my favorites. But anyway, long story short, I activated them into missing mode or lost mode or whatever. And I called the restaurant. They did not answer. This was like literally at midnight last night. Anyway, I was like, well, I have Apple Care on them. So if I lost them, hey, Miss True, I figured if I lost them, hi, Isha, Max, I figured, Miss Janine, if I lost them, then I would just have to, use my Apple Care and get a new pair. And so I wasn't worried, but I was kind of annoyed that I would have to like pay money to get a whole new pair of headphones. Anyway, I online it said that they would open up at 11. We were literally there at 11 o'clock. We were there like 10 after 11. And I walked in. I was like, I left my AirPods here on the table. And she said, oh, and she was getting ready to describe them. And I have them in a gold holder. And I said, yeah, it's got gold flecks on it. She's like, okay, I'll go get them for you. I was like, oh my God, thank you. And they were still like 30% charged. Um, And I was so lucky. I really was, because someone could have taken him, tried to, even though I put them into lost mode. Um, but whatever, you know what I mean? I was very grateful that whoever found them, probably my waitress, um, put them into lost and found. So I certainly appreciated that. So yeah, I got them. Anyway, I was cooking earlier for my family. I made chicken and waffles and grits today, and everybody ate, and now everyone's kind of chilling, and I was going to go and chill, but I was like, if I max too hard, I may not go live. Plus I know Super Bowl's coming, so I don't know what you guys will be like. Everyone's going to be watching Rihanna, or what. So I was like, you know what, let me just handle this business. Because we have a couple of loose ends. So I've had a couple sisses come to me about a couple of matters, and I know we need to talk about them. The Jacksons of Atlanta are up to their shenanigans. Justin is pretending to be involved with somebody because either Mahogany's not getting a BBL or because she is getting a BBL. But then today they put up a video pregnant with the 6 kids. So I don't know. I need to get a little bit more caught up on what they got going on over there. But they stay with the shenanigans. So we're gonna get into that. Not at this moment, but if you guys are not really watching the Super Bowl, I might come back later on. I need to just take myself a good nap because I didn't sleep well last night thinking about my AirPods. And then mommy was, I call it walking the floors last night. She was up most of the night, and kept me up. And we had a very bad thunderstorm here. So Farah woke up and then ended up, sleeping in our room, and had to make her a pallet on the floor. And it was a mom night. Not a very restful night of mom sleep, right? So, if you missed yesterday, me and Tarot Card Bay went live on Real Talk Bougie. We had a very nice conversation about fragrances and relationships. So, if you want to catch that, please do. I have 3 Dear Fran letters. I think I have enough for a whole entire episode. So maybe we can do some Dear Fran tonight if you want to, and call in and try to offer some sisters some help. I don't know. You guys let me know. Also, I did post a short that I thought was interesting. Another sis got to me, and I was watching Olivia. We were actually again out to dinner. We had kind of like a busy couple of days going out to dinner. And so we were eating when this happened. And I was kind of like, what is going on here? So was it this? When I was watching this wasn't live at the time. I think she had just been live on this. But let's look at this real quick, and then you guys tell me what you think. I put this up as a short. I don't think enough of you have seen it yet. So I'm getting ready to show it to you. Let's see. Hold on. Let me switch my screen. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Thank you for joining us today. And don't forget to hit the like button, please. I really appreciate when you guys do that. Um, all right, so Liv went live. Yes, Liv is acting very strange, and I'm going to give you my opinion on that. We're not going to run through her lives. Have been fugazi as I don't know what. Sis is just saying to me, nervous breakdown. I don't know what's wrong with her, but it's also not my problem. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't care enough. I think she thinks people care too much. I don't care at all, like for real. It's just she's just a crazy lady on the internet showing her behind, and who lost her kids, and who it's kind of interesting to me that someone could be so stupid. That's really all it is for me. I don't know what it is for you guys, but that's what it is for me.
My baby daddy?
This.
I don't know.
Wait.
Which one are you talking about? I got 2 of them. The one on my neck? I have 2 on my neck, babe. Block her? Should I block her?
You have two baby daddy tattoos on your necks? Oh, okay.
It's too hard. Where's my baby daddy? I don't know. Which one are you talking about? I got 2 of them. The one on my neck? I have 2 on my neck, babe.
She has 2 baby daddies and she has 2 baby daddies on her neck. I mean, are you following?
Block her? Should I block her? Where's my baby daddy? I don't know. Which one are you talking about? I got 2 of them. The one on my neck? I have 2 on my neck, babe. Where's my baby daddy?
Where's your baby daddy? Which baby daddy? I got 2 baby daddies. The one that's tatted on your neck, I got 2 of them on my neck. Okay? So, I mean, done. Olivia, stop playing with us. We've known Zolo was the baby daddy since we found out you were pretending to not be pregnant. Okay? At the end of the day, stop playing with the good people of the YouTube streets. You think people are dumb. At the end of the day, that's just another opportunity for you to continue to tell on yourself.
Oh.
So it is
Which
what
one
it
you talking
is,
about?
what it is, what it is,
I got 2 of
sis.
them.
I mean, that's your baby daddy. That's your baby daddy. We already know. Like maybe you didn't know, but we knew. Girl, we
The
knew.
one
I
on my
mean,
neck? I have 2 on my
girl.
neck, babe.
And then you got people
Block her?
down
Should I
here in the
block her?
chat talking about block her. For what? She just asked you, where's your baby daddy? These women are weird. Bunch of weirdos. She was Do you see how she had that look on her face? Liv knows when she fucks up. And I believe that at that moment she realized she fucked up, but she wasn't really sure who caught it. And she just pretended. I don't know if you'll be able to see it in the next clip, but
where's my baby daddy? I don't know. Which one are you talking about? I got 2 of them. The one on my neck? I have 2 on my neck, babe.
yeah, you got 2. You got both your baby daddies tatted on your neck. Like it's just it's simple as that right there. Okay. Okay. Anyway, Liv, have fun with that. I mean, girl, have fun with that. At the end of the day, you look like a complete maniac out here. This woman, let me just pull up her channel real quick because sis is going. It's lit lit with y'all. I don't know if sis cut all her hair off. I don't know what she did. Homegirl was over there. We're not going to even watch this because it's really nothing. But sis was over there to the movies, and she was at you know how movie theaters sell drinks now. Homegirl was over there. I guess she was going to a movie. I'm not sure. I'm assuming she was at the movie theater. I was at a restaurant with my husband, and looked like she was at something like a movie theater, and she was getting looks like maybe a strawberry margarita. Homegirl is a redonkulous, but she was over there looking crazy. If you see on the sides of her ball cap, it looks like she shaved her head. So if she shaved her head, good for her. She's not the only woman who shaved her head. It might all be slicked back. She's wearing these big sunglasses now. We know she dyed her hair blonde. I don't want to say she's losing her mind because she potentially shaved her head and cut her hair off, but she's just weird. She's a very strange woman. And she's acting like she is in the middle of having a nervous breakdown. Look at this. Girl, it's like she's on damn vacation. Let's see. Yes, I actually delivering an order and I know where I lost the mat. But with the foot of the snow impossible to find. I guess I missed your okay. Oh my God. I lost my AirPods in the snow. Oh my God, gig. I'm telling you, it was like a kick in the gut last night when I was like, oh shit, I lost my air. And then when I looked on Find My Air, because I'm used to like not finding my devices and going to find my air, find my whatever, find my device and seeing like it's in the car or it's somewhere else in the house, like it's in the house. So I know it's in the house and it's safe and it's fine, right? When I saw that it was all the way over, even though it was only a mile and a half away, but it was over at the Mexican restaurant that we were at on Thursday afternoon. Like we went, I think, right after we picked up Farah from school. So we went to have like kind of like an early supper, right? And I mean, we could have been getting out of there at like 5, 6 o'clock. It was early. So I don't know if we went right after school, but we went kind of early because we had business to handle. And we picked Farrah up from school and then we went to eat. But whatever. Anyway, um, it was strange, but I'm so grateful that I found them because even though I do have Apple Care, um, I was still gonna have to pay something, right? Um, and you don't have the appropriate insurance. Yeah, the Apple Care you can activate, I think, up to a month after you pick them up, and it really does pay for itself. It does. I mean, because even though it's kind of one of those things like insurance, it sucks to pay, but if you have to do a claim, it's so worth having, right? Right, Darla. I don't always lose stuff, but sometimes I just kind of, I don't know, I guess you call that losing. Maybe I hate to cop to that. I don't feel like I lose stuff, but I do put stuff down and just kind of like, what do I do with that? And then trying to like retrace my steps. Anyway, but it was just the reality when I traced it back and then and the funny thing with Find My Device is that it pinged up to yesterday. Okay. So I knew within the 24-hour period it stayed in the restaurant and then it never showed that it was anywhere else. And it also was showing that it was like 33%. So what I did, just for any of you who don't know, which I'm sure most of you Apple people would know, and I'm sure Android probably has something like this, but I'm not familiar with Android. Um, is that I put it in lost mode. So also if it clearly had not, no one had tried to pair it at that moment. But being in lost mode, I don't know that it would have paired with another device until I took it out of lost mode. So I immediately put it in lost mode and then it would have continued to ping as long as it's on, I guess, internet potentially. Um, and if someone tried to pair it, um, then I would get another ping, I guess if they're on Wi-Fi somewhere. I'm not exactly sure the details, but I'm assuming that that's how that would work. But I was very lucky. I walked in, we made the connection. She was like she was like, "Oh, okay." And I identified my case and she was like, "I'll go get it for you." And that was it. Anyway, I was very lucky. But yeah, Olivia is acting very strange, very weird. Um, I don't know what's going on with her. There was the whole video that she put up the other day regarding the drug test, and we can get into that. I just don't want to do that today because I've got a very special ratchet treat for you guys. There is a mommy out here that I stumbled across today. Girl, when I tell you this lady is ratchet AF and wanted by the police and has her children taken and wanted for child neglect, abandonment, all kinds of I mean, it's just the culmination of a lot of what we see on this internet. But she was giving me all kinds of lit with liv on her Instagram and on her Facebook. I was like, oh, okay, nice to meet you. You are ratchet. And just seeing when she was arrested back in 2018, then sis has the nerve to have a tax business. I'm thinking to myself, who is giving you some taxes to do? She's just one of these types that she'll be in the middle of some sort of tax scam. She'll be one of these people who is just, taking people's social security. It was giving me all kinds of very dishonest. And no, I've never heard of Angelique Soul, but um girl, a mess. We're going to get into her in just a second. She is ratchet, okay? She was giving me all kinds of live, okay? I'm gonna look up Angelique Soul too. So thank you for bubbling up that name. I will look her up because these mommies are very tired and they're just not fun because they pay too much attention to us now. You know what I'm saying? Like My best advice is live your life and drop your content. If all of a sudden you're paying too close attention to us, it's just not fun anymore. It's like, shut up and do your job. I'm doing my job, you do your job, which is you put out your content so I can watch it and give my opinion on it. That's, when they're paying too much attention to what we're doing, it's just it becomes less fun. So it's like, okay, whatever. Anyway, Olivia is very aware of what's going on, and that's why she can't perform. So that's her problem, and so is her silly friend. Because I don't, for some reason, guys, I'm telling you, I think her and Jasmine are still best buddies. They're still talking behind the scenes and having a good time, trying to make everyone think that they're not friends anymore. I know I'll need pods I can wear around my neck. Yeah, I like the ones around my neck too. I have a really good Sony pair that were dirt cheap. Two of my favorite headphones are very inexpensive. So anyway, okay, let's so that's it. I mean, I don't really want to get into this. Like Olivia, the main thing about this video right here, let's go, is what I already shared with you, which is Olivia basically told on herself that Zolo Bands is the daddy. And so I guess I'll play it in this video somewhere around here. Let's see.
Pays you. What? Girl, you talking to me? Where's my baby daddy? I don't know. Which one are you talking about? I got two of them. The one on my neck? I have two on my neck, babe. Block her? Should I block her?
Did you see how she just looked like that? Look at her eyeballs.
Block her? Should I block her?
I think that
Block her?
that
Should I
look
block her?
ahead was like, oh shit, did I just say that?
The one on my neck? I have two on my neck, babe. Block her? Should I block her?
She's so slow. Oops. And I oops.
The one on my neck? I have
Doesn't she sound like she's just trying to take a hit?
the one on my neck? I have two on my neck, babe. Block her? Should I block her? Which one are you talking about? I got two of them. The one on my neck? I have two on my neck, babe. Block her? Should I block her?
Oops.
Block her? Should I block her?
Let me pretend like I didn't just say that. Anyway, that's the only interesting highlight of that whole entire video for me. If you missed that and you want to go see it again, I edited it down, and you can watch that over in my shorts. She has some eye masks on. The eye masks aren't going to help. Also, just admit it. She didn't like. She basically slipped. I think she's into that chicken. She's into that chicken, and she was playing with her nose. And I don't know if she still had some candy in those nostrils or what, but she took a good inhale. Let's run this back. I'm gonna let y'all hear it one more time.
The green tea. We don't care. We don't care. You read us. We all know you just read the ones who pays you. What? Girl, you talking to me? Where's my baby daddy? I don't know. Which one are you talking about? I got two of them. The one on my neck? I have two on my neck, babe. Block her? Should I block her?
Yeah, she has Gerard. Remember, she had Gerard on one side and she had Zolo on the other side. She covered up both of those tattoos. Like, yeah, She was so into that food. She was so into eating. She was so into playing with her nose. She's so distracted. And it's hard to cover up lies all the time. You know, you got two baby daddies and you know you tatted both of them on your neck. I mean, duh. Guys, this is how this started. This woman is off the damn chain. Look at this. She has her breasts like popping out of her.
Oh, these roads are
Ah!
horrible. Don't come for me. I didn't make these roads. I did
You
not make these roads,
you didn't
honey.
make that top either, but can you cover up like it's and then if you see that there's men in the chat now, because you know she doesn't have any mods, and she gets a bunch of like gross, disgusting men who are like, you know, making comments on her boobs. Which also tells me
Hey,
I think she's playing around in the behind the scenes in the
y'all
internet
can blame the
doing.
city of Texas for this. Oh, honey.
Wait, we
I'm
have to
telling
blame
you,
the
it's the
city of what?
roads.
Wait, hold on. She
Y'all
said
can
that
blame the city of Texas for this.
wait, the city of Texas. So is she saying that she lives
Y'all
in
can
a
blame the
city called
city of Texas
Texas
for
in
this.
Texas?
Oh, honey. I'm telling you, it's the roads. Blame the city of Texas for this. Oh,
She's so
honey.
dumb.
Y'all can blame the city of Texas for this. Oh, honey.
Guys,
I'm telling you,
you
it's
I
the
mean,
roads.
okay. All right. I don't have I can't. The city of Texas. Maybe there is a city in Tech cuz you know that would be something like some Texas to call a city named Texas, Texas, Texas. That would be very cute and that would be so Texas to do something like that. I think that's but I don't know that there is a city called Texas in Texas or maybe there's a Tejas. I'm not sure, but girl, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's not relevant and whatever. Sis is nuts, okay? And she's so let's move on because there's something more interesting going on. This is actually a serious news story, but it is mixed in everything ratchet that we kind of like from the YouTube street. So let's get into it. Um, let's get into this and then we're going to talk about it because there's lots to go look at. Because sis is a whole train wreck out here, okay? And the comment sections are off the chain. So let's get into it. Um, I'm gonna bring you over here and
The Montgomery County mother is wanted by police in 2 different states tonight after investigators say her 2 young children were found in deplorable living conditions.
can you
The
guys hear?
12 and 3-year-old were left alone to fend for themselves for nearly 2 months. ABC 13's Brooke Taylor is
2 children, 12 and 13. Can you hear? Can you guys hear me? There's a mommy. There is Texas City, okay? Like New York City, New York, right? Jersey City, New Jersey. So yeah, so not surprising at all. But yeah, it is Texas City in the Dallas area. It's not relevant, but maybe. Um these kids, this woman right here left her kids to fend for themselves. They did a Jeremy.
Daddy a fool. That's my plate? Daddy a fool. Daddy a fool. Daddy a fool.
She did a Jeremy and said fend for yourself. She took off. She's been gone. She left around Thanksgiving. Mom has been gone for 7 weeks. She left the kids in Houston, Texas, and took her ass to Montgomery, Alabama. She is wanted by the police. And we're going to hear how this got to the attention of the news media and the police and wanted in 2 states.
live outside the home where all of this happened. Brooke?
Yeah, all of this really hard to believe. Now, the mom left about a few months ago, but they moved into this home a year ago, and the children were never enrolled.
This is a nice house, right? This is a nice house, right?
Ago, and the children were never enrolled in school in Texas. So officials tell me it was really easy for all of this to just go unnoticed. Inside this home, a nightmare for 2 young children, 12 and 3 years old. Roman Forest Police Chief Stephen Carlisle says they were abandoned for nearly 2 months.
There was no food in the house. Everything was empty. There was some dry beans and some spices is about it.
Their mother, Raven Yates, left them in late September, he says. There's been a warrant out for her arrest since December. Investigators say the 12-year-old never told anyone because she was threatened by what might happen to her little brother. They have different fathers.
And she was afraid that her father was going to take her and leaving the 3-year-old by himself.
Fearful, she obeyed.
I mean, if your mother abandoned you, left you in a house all by yourself with the baby, isn't it safe to assume that she would be afraid that the same thing could happen, where if you left me and the baby, my mother, that he can come take me and then the baby's going to be here all by himself and she's busy taking care of her 3-year-old brother? Isn't that awful? Listen to what happened.
She'd call her father, saying mom was working and he would send food. According to police, he's a music producer in California. He called police once family members spotted Yates in Mobile, Alabama, where she's from, without her kids.
When he got a call from his ex-mother-in-law and he put 2 and 2 together, he caught the first plane over here.
Investigators shocked to see how they were living.
The officers checked the bedroom of the children and discovered heavy urine odor coming from the 3-year-old's bed.
Yates continues to be active on social media, posting to her thousands of followers as investigators work with Mobile police to arrest the 31-year-old's mom. She's wanted on 2 counts of abandoning or endangering a child without intent to return. She hasn't responded to our messages.
A 12-year-old cannot take care of a 3-year-old for a long period of time. It's dangerous, especially.
Do we hear that? A 12-year-old cannot take care of a 3-year-old for long periods of time.
Over a month and a half.
A month and a half.
It's dangerous. It's irresponsible of the parent.
Now, Yates also has a 14-year-old girl. She was reported as a runaway around the same time when police say she left the young.
This mother is trash. You got a 14-year-old runaway and you got 2 kids that you haven't seen in 7 weeks because you left and went 4 states away and hadn't even checked on them. And baby girl is calling her dad asking for groceries to be delivered and DoorDash. And he's saying, well, where's your mother? And she's saying she's at work. So he would have food sent over to the house and he had no idea because mom was threatening baby girl that the worst would happen if she told on her. So the baby girl, the 12-year-old, is covering. And mom missed Christmas. Mom left them in the house after Thanksgiving, took off and went to damn Mobile, Alabama. Okay.
Younger children. Tonight, though, police tell me all 3 children have been reunited. They are safe and they are with a family member in Alabama. We're live in New Caney. I'm Brooke Taylor, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
Okay, let's check this one.
Inside this home, a nightmare for 2 young children, 12 and 3 years old. Roman Forest Police Chief Stephen Carlisle says they were abandoned for nearly 2 months.
There was no food in the house. Everything was empty. There was some dry beans and some spices.
This is just like a short. Wait, hold on.
Inside this home.
And welcome to The Factor Uncensored. Tonight we begin with a child endangerment and abandonment case out of Montgomery County. Police are continuing their search for Raven Yates. They found her children, a 12 and a 3-year-old, inside of a dirty home alone and without food or medical supplies. There have been red flags before police found the kids, according to investigators. Now, the children's father, who lives and works in California, says the 12-year-old daughter would often call him and ask for food deliveries. He thought nothing about the request until Yates' mother spotted her in Mobile, Alabama, without the kids who were back here in Texas.
So she called and was like, do you have the kids? And he's like, no, I'm sending them food in Houston. Well, sis is here in Montgomery. All right, let's look at this. So Roman Forest Police posted this on Facebook. Raven Yates wanted for abandoned endangered child without intent to return. So basically, like literally, she abandoned her kids without the intention to return. So did she take up housing in another state? My first thought is, well, who's paying the rent? Who knows? It's only been 2 months, so if she's getting late notices, we don't know like what the situation has been. Maybe she'd paid the rent into December. Maybe she's paying the rent. Who knows? Wanted for abandoned, endangered child without intent to return on November 14th, 2022. A concerned father reported to Roman Forest Police that his 12-year-old daughter has been home alone with her 3-year-old brother since September 28th. Since September 28th. Much of the time without access to food, medical supplies. The father, who lives out of state, immediately flew from California, where he'd been working at the time. The father had been informed that his child's mother had been in Mobile, Alabama without her, and realized they were home alone because he had been asked by his daughter to send food regularly. So he was sending DoorDash and groceries. The children are not registered in school, so that's how they slipped through the cracks. She never put them in school. So either she probably withdrew them from Montgomery, Alabama, when she took them to Texas, never put them in school. So little girl has not been in school, nothing. I wonder if I'm assuming the lights were on. Um, the children are not registered in school and had been left at the home alone since September 28th to November 14th. Following the investigation, an arrest warrant has been issued for the mother, Raven Yates, on 2 counts of abandoned, endangered child without intent to return. The mother, Raven Yates, is believed to be in Mobile, Alabama area. Roman Forest Police and Mobile have been working together on this case. This chick is over here on damn Instagram and Facebook acting like a pure fool, okay? Um so I went onto her Instagram. This is her Instagram over here, girl. She is like a whole mess, okay? She has 226,000 followers, and this is the kind of stuff she's up to on here, okay? Look like anything we know about? This is 16 hours ago. So I don't know why they can't seem to find her, but she has not been arrested yet. She is over here in Mobile, Alabama, and you just have to kind of look at the comments. People are getting her in the comments. Like, why you abandon your kids? You see this? Okay. Why you abandon your kids? Just like, ma'am, hello, did you forget that you have children? So I guess the kids were brought from Mobile. Now she's showing all kinds of food and all kinds of things. Oh, you found your kids? Good job. Knowing good and well, sis is still wanted by the police. These are the kids that she abandoned. And look at this range in the house. So she was living in a pretty nice house. Um, I don't know why she's so obsessed with showing food with the children. There's the 12-year-old, I'm assuming, right? Um, I don't know if she had security cameras, because you saw that at the beginning. It makes you wonder why, people show certain things. So so you see that you saw kind of like maybe it was the Ring camera. So maybe she felt like, not that that would make it right at all, but she's showing a refrigerator full of food. So is she trying to make it seem like I left them with food? No, you can't leave a 12-year-old with a 3-year-old. That's ridiculous. Um, Look, how the fuck the police ain't get you yet, okay? She is wanted at the moment. Like up until this morning, there are agencies posting all over, reposting this story and posting this story about her wanted status in Texas and Mobile. But look at this. She is, I swear to God, this is Liv. She's acting crazy and just likes to take, sexually provocative pictures. I'm not in the chat, so I can't really see what you guys are saying, but you guys get the drift. I mean, have we not seen this before? Talking about I took a lunch break. This is January 30th. Like, this woman posts regularly and actively. Okay. Look familiar. Do we know anybody on the internet who's doing this kind of shenanigans? Oh, at the gym. This is like a rinse. Like, this is okay. Okay. Um, let me see what you guys are saying, and then I'm gonna show you something else. Is this not crazy? It's absolutely disgusting. And she is, I don't know, like, if no one knows where she is living, because apparently I'm assuming she didn't come running to her mother's house or her family to tell them she's back in town, because what they're saying is when the mother saw her without her kids, she called the oldest girl's father. I don't know where the baby's father is, but her 12-year-old, she called the 12-year-old's father to see, I guess, if he had the kids, because she ran into her in Mobile. And I guess she must have thought something didn't seem right and called. And then he's trying to get on the first plane from California back to Texas to go check on the kids because she didn't have the kids. Okay. So very strange, right? And we don't know what is up with the baby's father, because apparently there's two sets of dads. So hold on a second. So this is all very current because they're looking for her like now. Um, so, but this is funny because she looks very different at this time. But this is when she was arrested back in 2018. There was a repo man that came to her home, and just a moment.
Highly favored. Thank you all for coming out. So you're saying that you did not attack them?
So 2018, she was arrested. There was a repo man that came to her home, and she slashed him with a box cutter. So this is who we're dealing with. And this is in 2018.
That's good, you all. Please follow me on Instagram. My name is Famous DB. Maybe y'all understand the real reason why is this going on. I'm innocent. I never had a record. I'm a licensed insurance adjuster, and I own a tax company. Anyone that knows me knows I'm a woman of stature and prestige. Yes, I look a mess, but I'm blessed and highly favored. Thank you all for coming out.
So you're saying that you did not attack the man with a box cutter?
That's what I'm saying. Thank you.
And
I have Mr. Briskman, my attorney. He's the best in the state. Please speak with him with further questions or concerns.
okay, is there anything else that you want to say?
No, I appreciate y'all coming out.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
Oh, thank y'all. I love you. Thank you. You have a great day.
All right, well, we are out here at Mobile Metro Jail.
I'm trying to think, how did she slash the repo man and beat the charges? I mean, she must have had the best lawyer in the state, because I don't know how she was still walking the streets of Mobile, but she was very pleasant to the reporter, wasn't she?
Mobile police made an arrest earlier today. Actually, they said that this woman was arrested in Texas, 26-year-old Raven Yates. You see her now getting into the back of a Mobile police cruiser. She told us when we were asking her questions that she did not assault the repo driver with a box cutter, but that is what Mobile police say she is charged with.
Okay. All right, let's go here really quick. So she mentioned she has a tax service, right? So if you go to her Instagram right here, Hollywood Fame DB. So for Hollywood Fame DB, this is her Instagram we were just looking at with all the food and the shenanigans and the sexually provocative content. Sis has a tax service, RY Tax Professionals. And this is what she's talking about over here. Are you going to who is sending her their taxes in the lingerie? Okay. But that's her. And she says that she's a woman of stature and prestige. with her tax service, and I don't know what's going on, but how does she not know that you left a 12-year-old and a 3-year-old in Texas to fend for themselves, right? And she had 10,000 followers on that Instagram page. She has over 200,000 on this one. And her website, business sex ec business business, maybe it's business exec. It looks like business exec 101, and Raven Shawan Yates on notice in London. I don't know what that means. Okay. Uh Achieves progress as an entrepreneur with focus and hard work. I don't even know. There's some article. I'm gonna have to get into reading this. Um Girl, we don't even know if this is a real article. Let's see. She has a whole link tree. So we'll go back and get into that in the future. Um, let's get back onto, oh, you couldn't even see it anyway. I thought I shared that. Okay. Give me 1 second to reset where we're at. But yeah, this is her. Oh, look at this. Abused it. Okay. All right, let me get back to over here. Okay. So this is the post right here from Roman Forest Police Department, and I guess this is somewhere near Houston. This is 2 days ago. Wanted, and they're working with the authorities in Mobile. And then it's being posted and reposted, and there have been several news stories talking about this and basically just putting out the word to please share, just because I think a lot of people are really just kind of shocked that, she could do such a thing. And most people would never even think to do something like this. Montgomery County mom. Let's see if this is the same story.
That rocking chair would look great in our new house.
Oh, new house.
So let's let this ad go. But yeah, it seems like she posts pretty regularly on Facebook and Instagram, and she's like, okay, this is the same story that we just watched. Okay. So yeah. So I'm sure you guys have some thoughts on this, because I mean, I don't know. When I hear stuff about kind of like, oh, they're in the house, they have no food, they don't have, this, that, or the third. I don't know. It just made me think of that immediately, just kind of like, wow. I never thought that someone would leave their kids like that. This is her Facebook, advertising for her tax business, and not even thinking about January 30th that your kids are elsewhere and that you basically like left them behind all of these months. And, 2 days ago, she's posting something about an abusive dad. And it's like, where are your kids? Look at all this. December 20th. Where's your kids, ma'am? At the time that they said that she was gone from her kids, it's like, but you're on here posting all of this. So clearly she's up to shenanigans on this internet. Okay. And then she's posting the kids. So she has the 14-year-old, she has a 12-year-old. The 14-year-old was reported as a runaway, the 12-year-old, and then a 3-year-old. So altogether, 3 kids, and just on this internet acting a complete fool. Okay. Let me see what you guys are saying about all this. Oh, I was about to say, okay, that's me live. Okay. So I guess these are the kids. Look at them when they're little, out camping. I don't know. I mean, maybe she had some sort of break with reality. Maybe she's had some sort of nervous breakdown. That doesn't like give her any room to like real room to have done what she did, but I don't know that there's any good explanation for some of this type of behavior. Let me see what you guys are saying. But sis is most definitely wanted, far as hell from her family. Absolutely. They're charging her with abandonment and not returning. And if she I don't know what the circumstances were around her exiting school, exiting the children from school in Mobile, but I'm sure there's got to be some sort of like repercussion for taking them out of school in Alabama and then not registering them. It's just too bad that these county governments and school systems can't talk to each other so that kids don't fall through the cracks of getting from one school to another school safely, or even if the parents are just like, okay, well, we're homeschooling some sort, because there are kids out here that we know this to be a fact, that there are kids out here that fall through the cracks because you do have a right to manage your family, but there are people out here that are doing these kids like no good. It's really unfortunate. And to see that she is so active on social media and she is like Trizash um on a couple of different levels, as a mother, as a woman, she's trying to promote these businesses, but clearly it looks like she's some sort of sex worker. I wouldn't give her like sales tax. I would never, like, this woman has a whole tax biz, like, it's weird. um Let me see what you guys are saying. I sent a screenshot of her brother's post on Facebook on IG. Oh, you did? Where? Um, to my IG. Okay, hold on one second. Let me look over there. Let me find it. Bear with me, guys. Let me see. Yeah, I just started getting into it this morning because I saw the headline on the news report and I was like, oh shit, that was interesting. And when I saw her Facebook and then I searched her Facebook and I was just like, "Oh my god." Okay. Okay, let me see. Give me one. Okay. All right, let me hadn't ready yet, but let me download it so I can share it with you guys. Okay. Okay. You never know what a person. You know what? I thought I saw this. You never know what a person is going through, but my sister Raven Yates, I'ma stand behind her. Period. Social media is so quick to judge. I'm sorry. That sounds stupid. I started reading this. I didn't realize that this was her brother. I saw the post and read the first couple lines, and my thing is a 12-year-old and a 3-year-old home alone for 7 weeks, verified. There's nothing really to like. You want to stand by your sister, that's fine, but why don't you stand by your niece and your nephew? And that there's a 14-year-old who I guess she forgot about too. You reported her as a runaway. Were you even checking in to see she wasn't like the worst hadn't happened to her? Like, I mean, this woman is fell asleep on the job. She basically quit her job as a mom. And honestly, she needs to be fired. Like at the end of the day, sis needs to be whole fired. Um, Okay. Sis needs to be fired because she's got other stuff on her mind and other things clearly that she wants to be doing rather than being a mother. She is not a mom. Like, this is like a real bad case of piss poor momming. You never know what a person's going through, but my sister, Raven Yates, I'm a stand behind her. Period. Social media is so quick to judge, but don't even know half the story. If anybody know my sister, she's very smart and intelligent. When you have a mental issue, okay, well, she has a mental issue, but why is it that no one knew that the niece and nephew and or granddaughter and grandson were alone states away with no food? Thankfully, the phones were working where the young girl could call her father and get DoorDash and I don't know, Walmart or Instacart delivered over to the house. And she's over there threatening her daughter with negativity because she's afraid to be abandoned again or to abandon her baby brother that she's basically caring for as a mother. That's awful. This woman is fired as a mother. Like, I don't care if she has what her diagnoses are. She needs to be fired. Like, she should be done. Um, I didn't realize this lady's top was all nude like that. Okay. Okay, so let's get back to the letter because there's no periods. Okay. Social media is so quick to judge and don't even know half the story. If anybody know of my sister, she's very smart. If those kids ended up dead in that house, they wouldn't care. Like, she would just be another woman in jail, in prison. Intelligent and smart. When you have mental issues as an adult and in denial about it, a denial about it's hard to help a person. Everybody knows something is wrong with my sister except the peasants that don't know her. Well, I think it's safe to say that it's okay for people to judge when you've got two small children basically fending for themselves. Okay. The peasants that don't know her, I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm upset and I'm angry because so it's the father who had to come all the way from California to see about his daughter and a boy that's and another kid that's not even his, but the brother who is so like, you don't know my sister's journey, da, 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 just more what do they call it? More um girl. Oh my God. More basically, what is that? I can't even think of it now because I'm just so upset by this note. It just um they're basically facilitating her poor behavior. And maybe because she has a knack for making money, sometimes there are people out here, they're enabling her. They are I don't want to say co-signing, but they are um the word is on the tip of my tongue and I just can't even say it, but they you never know. Sometimes you have people who are on the edge of insanity, but because they have their hands so deep in that person's pocket and they are dependent on that person, they will let someone damn near drive themselves off a cliff. Okay. To me, sis clearly, if she was able to keep that house and was paying rent or mortgage or whatever she was paying, I don't know if she owned that home or not, but she had that kid in the house and the lights obviously were on. Um, Maybe rent was being paid, maybe it wasn't being paid. Who knows? I don't know. All I know is this guy is absolutely ridiculous for writing this note in defense of his sister. He says he's angry. If his niece and nephew were dead, I wonder if he'd be writing the same thing because that very easily could have happened. And then you could have had the little girl, 12 years old, potentially facing something if they would have felt like something happened and it was her fault and why didn't you call the police or any. This girl has been severely abused and traumatized by the way her mother basically held her captive in a house by herself with a 3-year-old. Has the kid even been out the house in weeks? I mean, just awful. And then I guess she's got the Ring cameras on there so she could kind of see what's going on with that. Like she's parenting from states away, looking at the cameras. What a weirdo. Um, I'm angry because y'all never know what a person is capable of doing. And the fact it's all the black women trying to bring her down. Well, you know what? As a black woman, yeah, I don't care. As a black woman, I'm going to sit here and say she's a piece of shit. And damn right, I'm going to tear her down because any decent woman, any mother, any auntie, any neighbor, any teacher, any nurse, any person with a heart would not leave a 12-year-old and a 3-year-old in a house by themselves for 7 damn weeks with no food and no way of taking care of themselves. No one who's washing their clothes, turning off the lights, making sure the doors are locked, making sure that they're safe. I mean, what kind of woman is that? And I don't care. You're not going to throw the black woman excuse out there because I'll be the black woman all day that tears this black woman down. I do not care. That's a sorry excuse. I don't care who this woman is. She's trash. She's absolute trash. Her brother and family know that she has mental issues. So when they saw her without her kids, mom's over there calling the baby daddy in California. Why didn't mommy get into her Lincoln Continental or Cadillac or her Honda Civic or whatever the hell she's driving and go and get her granddaughter? Like, you're calling the baby father. You know your daughter's crazy. Did you really think the kids were in California? Like, be for real. You were calling just to confirm what you probably already knew was that she had abandoned the kids somewhere. Trying to bring her down is disgusting. And people I see, what's disgusting to me is that I'm having to read this whole thing with no punctuation. The people, let's see. It's all the black women trying to bring her down. It's disgusting. I'm sorry. You're luckier it's me because you already know if Karen would have caught your niece outside, your sister would have been arrested weeks ago. Okay? You're lucky that your sister hasn't been caught a long time ago, because if your niece and nephew had been out on the streets, yeah, Karen and whomever on that street would have already reported them. Luckily, for some reason this house was left to no cars coming and going. It's like, didn't anyone notice that the cars weren't coming and going? Didn't anyone notice anything? Did they just thought the house was back up for rent? There was no nosy neighbor. I mean, I just kind of find it hard to believe because, I mean, you notice things, and she's lucky. I mean, she is lucky as the criminal that she hadn't been busted sooner. But if her daughter had gone out and been noticed by a neighbor who was just kind of like, is your mom home? Like, what's going on? Are you at the house by yourself? I hadn't seen your mom come home in a while. I mean, it's awful. It's awful. And you know what? I'm sorry. I'll take a good nosy neighbor any day. Now, that does come with a couple of exceptions, but at the end of the day, nosy neighbors are good because they are going to see some things, right? Anyway, let me finish this up. The fact that it's all the black women trying to bring her down is disgusting. The people I see sharing, block list you go. I don't want to see anything negative on my timeline about my sister, and stop inboxing me if it's nothing positive. If you haven't been around for years, why care now? Okay, look, like I said, and this is what I think, honestly, this to me, and I don't know if this is true or not, my first assumption is going to be homie is getting some sort of kickback in his pocket from sis. Sis has over 200,000 followers on Instagram. Clearly, she is twerkulating that ass for coin. And I think that she makes some sort of money online, obviously, and she appears to be a sex worker or something. If there's no way she's not, there's no way she's not. I mean, this Instagram to me says sex worker, sex worker, sex worker, lives life, lives life, lives life. Lives life, lives life, lost her kids, lives life, sex worker, sex worker, sex worker. Like, that's just my opinion. That's what it's giving. Okay. That's what it's giving. And I think we've seen enough to know like what's happening when we see this type of behavior on the internet. This is a recipe for you about to lose your kids. Look at this. Raven Yates leads RY taxes and professionals and venture into global market. This has got to be some sort of fake article. That doesn't even make sense as a headline. Leads RY taxes and professionals and ventures into the global market. I don't this might be some sort of fake ass article. CEO Weekly, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for understanding, dedication, regard. Girl, this woman is a whole scam. I don't know. Someone said scammer in the thing, and that's what it is. I think she's some sort of scammer. This is not the lady who, if this is what you're doing in your bedroom, that's your business. But if this is what's doing on your Instagram and you have a tax service, no offense, you won't be doing mine. Okay. And you're also on the news because you're wanted because you left your kids behind and you're some sort of felony child endangerment. It's crazy. Oh, you can even see. Okay. Y'all. Crazy, right? Okay, let me go back to Facebook really quick. Let me reset and see because there was a bunch of stuff I found on Facebook that I wanted to show you guys. Crazy, right? Give me just 1 second. I just cannot believe her brother wrote that's like that he thinks that was actually a great argument. Oh, let me go to the other thing that all right, let me
We begin with a child endangerment and abandonment case out of Montgomery County. Police are continuing their search for Raven Yates. They found her children, a 12 and a 3-year-old, inside of a dirty home alone and without food or medical supplies. There have been red flags before police found the kids, according to investigators. Now, the children's father, who lives and works in California, says the 12-year-old daughter would often call him and ask for food deliveries. He thought nothing about the request until Yates mother spotted her in Mobile, Alabama, without the kids who were back here in Texas. Joining me now to talk about this case is Dr. Christine Belliard and licensed therapist Sadia Turney.
And just so you guys know, this is actually a day ago. So, like I said, this is a very current story. This is going on as we speak. Sis is wanted by the police in 2 states with warrants outstanding for this egregious, dangerous, and just absolutely unspeakable mom behavior. I mean, if she was doing this, it just makes me wonder, like, was she physically hurting the kids? But her poor daughter, um, I don't even know what was going on with the 14-year-old, but it's just heartbreaking. The 3-year-old might be able to recover from this and may not know what happened, but the 12-year-old who basically was just deuces on, and the 14-year-old, this is awful. But they're going to have a little conversation right here. We'll talk about it. We'll jump in and give our answers. It's just about 7 minutes. So let's listen to this, and then and that's it. Let's keep
Just
going.
mind-blowing. And I was hesitant on doing this segment because I said there could be more that we don't know.
Sure.
And our reporter here at Fox 26 dug very deep. There's nothing else but what we see on the surface. This mother left these children behind, according to investigators. Your thoughts?
No, sis, she's still running rampant on Instagram and Facebook. They'll catch up with her because the awareness is out now. But she also seems to be like a woman of many faces, where she's got lots of wigs and she can change her appearance. You know how some people, they can just look, they have a knack for looking different. You can see by just what I've shown you, she has a knack for looking different. She's picked up weight. She's lost weight. We don't know, she's almost like a damn shapeshifter. Okay. This woman is probably very dangerous. Keep in mind, I showed you a clip of her getting arrested in 2018. There was a man who came to repossess her vehicle. She was not paying on her car. The repo man came. She took a box cutter and slashed him. Okay. All right.
On this.
I will say this is a case when I reviewed it, my heart just sunk. So for me, I just thought so much about that 12-year-old because there's so much placed on her. And I also thought about that mom. Clearly, she has some concerns that need to be addressed. And not just her, but I say also her family. So one thing I kept thinking about was abuse, because this really is neglect, which is a form of abuse. And there is the perpetrator. There's the ones that are perpetrated. In this case, that would be the children, but also the observers. So that's all of us. So I thought about her family and friends. So I guess my biggest thing is for all of us, when we hear these stories, it's not just that's a sad story, but who are we checking in on? Because I thought about her mother, and my heart goes out to her as well, but other family members. When you haven't seen a child that you know is connected to a mother, we need to really ask what's going on. Be willing to sometimes feel like, oh, I'm overstepping, because you really could be saving a life.
Yeah. And Sadia, what is it like for a child to be in that position? Does it become routine? Does it become a part of their life that they expect to be abandoned or left alone?
Absolutely. And it's actually called a parentified child, where a child is given the responsibility that a caregiver or parent should have.
Now, this is...
Yeah, is it like when the little girl's waking up, not going to school, no friends probably, doesn't know anybody, just calling her dad, and was threatened by her mother to not tell dad what's going on. If he asks for me, you just tell him I'm at work. And it's just another day that she has to get up and take care of her brother, or, the baby. I'm assuming it was a little boy. And just awful.
Different from what we grew up on, latchkey kid. This is totally different.
This is different, because you can be a latchkey kid and have safety and
Latchkey
know that
kid,
somebody's
mom's
coming to provide your
home
basic
in a couple
needs.
hours.
This mom was completely
Or dad.
gone. The kids didn't have the proper resources in the home, and so they're left to not only deal with the physical load, and this 12-year-old, I think, was taking care of a younger sibling at the same time, but they're dealing with the emotional load. I'm a little person in this big world, and if something happens, it's on me, right? And this has long-lasting repercussions. Moving forward, these kids learn how to care give more than self-care. They prioritize.
I think India, he was sending her DoorDash and like food deliveries like Walmart or Instacart. She would call and say, Mom was at work. Can you send food? And he would order her groceries or order her food and didn't think anything of it until um, her mother called him to say, do you have the kids? And I'm sorry, when you as the mother know your trifling ass daughter and your trifling ass daughter don't have her kids, I mean, I think she was probably hoping the kids were in California, but she probably knew the kids weren't in California and she had left them somewhere, because this can't be the first time it happened. If you can leave them for 7 weeks, you've left them for 7 days.
Prioritize other people's needs ahead of their own. They emotionally suppress because their lives are now built around survival. I can't thrive as a child. I can't function in my own development, learn myself, because I am learning how to survive and take care of everybody's needs around me.
And Christine, will they require counseling? Will they require guidance
Absolutely.
after this in order to get them back on the right track as a child?
I would definitely say
Or
that.
will they be
you're right.
changed forever?
Oh, I believe so. I do hope, that was what I was hoping when I heard the story. I hope that they will be connected with intervention services and a good counselor, because the 12-year-old and the 3-year-old are affected. So people think, okay, well, it's just the 12-year-old, the 3-year-old so young. No, these are critical years when kids really need to be able to attach to a secure caregiver. So the hope is that they will be provided intervention services, which I'm sure they will be, to really process that, one, they are not the problem. When kids are this young, they think, what did I do for mom to not come back? And so that really needs
Mom
to be
is
dispelled.
a
So
whole
this is a
slore.
critical time for these children to be given.
Those poor kids, I'm sorry. There's so many women out here. They wake up every day, and the most important thing for them is their vagina and what's getting ready to go in it. And I'm sorry to speak so graphically on a Sunday, but that's just what it is. There are some very slorish ass, whorish women who aren't doing anything but thinking about the vagina. Okay. They don't care about their kids. They don't care about anything that's going on other than what they got going on with their body and who they're going to come over to beat their brakes off. Okay. And it's absolutely disgusting. And I can't believe that this woman got in a car, on a train, on a bus, on a plane, however she went, turned her back and left and did not come home 1 night, 2 nights, 3 nights, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5, to where it equaled 7 weeks that your kids were home alone. And now you're on the damn run on the internet. You're sitting over here posting on Instagram like everything is okay. Sis is crazy. And then her brother's over here. That just tells me her brother is getting some money from her or something. She must be kicking her brother back some money to make a statement like this, because he can't help you. He can't help you because you're wanted in 2 states, sis.
Proper services for sure.
And we want to remind our viewers right now, investigators are still investigating this case. We don't know that all of this information is fact. We're talking about facts. We're just talking, and we want to help parents out there who may have this problem. How often does this happen, Saudia? Do we see a lot of parents leaving their children behind? Not to this extent, but for a time frame that may be questionable.
They were not even enrolled in school. They were not enrolled in school.
Egregious act, right? For the parent to be in a whole nother state or whatever the situation is, and the kids for 2 months to be uncared for. But there are a lot of micro versions of this where parents, because the kid can do it, it doesn't mean they should do it, right? It doesn't mean that they are developed.
What's too much for a 12-year-old?
All 12-year-olds are different, right? So you have to know your child.
Should you be leaving them, and I'm trying to get some examples for the parents, should you leave them overnight by themselves?
I would say at 12 years old, absolutely not. Absolutely not. There needs to be an adult that's in the home, or a neighbor, a friend. That speaks to the importance of community as well. A lot of us are living in isolation as parents.
And I mean, latchkey is a reality for lots of kids. Get off the bus, they have a key, they get in the house, they're home alone for 2-3 hours, and mom, dad, grandma is on the way home from work. It's usually those hours in between school getting out at 2:30, 3 o'clock, and mom getting off at 5 and 6. So that's usually about 3-4 hours where there's a kid home alone, getting a snack, starting homework, locking a door. And it's not, you know what I mean? I'm sure, um, you know, the bad thing is that in middle school, typically, there's no after school program. Like I've had after school here in Charlotte, in most school stops at 5th grade. There are a couple of schools, couple of middle schools that have after school programs, and I guess then there's after school sports and things like that. But there kind of is and most kids at that age too, middle school kids don't really want to go to daycare, you know? And I think also, depending on the situation, some parents want some relief from having to pay the daycare van or the Y bus to come pick up Boys and Girls Club after school to pick up, and a kid probably having a key to watch themselves for a couple of hours. It's a lot, but that's not what this situation is. This is not a latchkey kid. This is like a total case of peace and deuces, and you better not tell anybody.
We cannot parent in isolation. So we have to be able to, if we don't have a built-in community, to be able to cultivate a community to help support us, because it's hard for one person to do it all. But no, a 12-year-old should not be left home alone in the house overnight.
If things are as we suspect and as police say, do you think this mother needs some help? And you hinted at it earlier.
100%. I think it's really easy to blame mom, pathologize her, but I really, I was almost hoping that this is somebody that could be on my caseload. The reason I say is because I'm sure there are so many layers to her story and things that need to be explored. One thing I'll say, mothering period and parenting period is not easy. So it's easy to say, oh my gosh, we can just demonize her, but I'm sure there are needs beyond just leaving her children. I know that they pointed to her Instagram account, and she, has a following, and she really, it sounds like, does a lot of posting and those sort of things. So I am wondering about her mental health status. So really having some appropriate services would be so helpful for her, for sure.
And in the last 20 seconds,
yes,
if you see something like this going on,
These ladies are very nice.
at your neighbor's
If
house,
she was
what
on
should
my
you do?
caseload,
You should
I'd be
absolutely
like,
speak
she'd
to
be
the
done.
parent, right? And if you're not getting any movement in that area, first. I think it is okay, like Christine said, to overstep, right? We can have compassion and hold people accountable. These are kids that have no power in their lives, and they need an adult to be accountable for them. So sometimes it is an outside member that is going to hold accountability to that parent. And if that doesn't work, then you go above that parent, whatever that looks
Do
like.
what you got to do.
Absolutely.
Thank you, ladies.
Okay, guys.
Inside this whole-
Hold on one second. Let me go to this one. Let me show you this picture really quick. This is the brother who wrote the letter about his sister. Look how bow-legged this guy is. Is this crazy? He looks like he just jumped off a horse. Look at this. What? Okay, that's Mr. Bo. That's Bo Yates. That's her brother. I just want to take a minute and wish my big sis Raven, aka FDB, a happy 26th birthday. That was back in 2017. Boy, bye. Can I get out of here? What's going on? Okay. Hold on one second. I'm not finding the results that I wanted. Hold on. This thing was funny to me. I wonder how she beat this case. For you guys that are late coming in, I don't know how she beat this case.
That's good, you all. Please follow me on Instagram. My name is Famous DB. Maybe y'all understand the real reason why is this going on. I'm innocent. I never had.
She comes out the police station talking about.
That's good, you all. Please follow me on Instagram. My name is Famous DB. Maybe y'all understand the real reason why is this going on. I'm innocent. I never had a record. I'm a licensed insurance adjuster, and I own a tax company. Anyone that knows me knows I'm a woman of stature and prestige. Yes, I look a mess, but I'm blessed and highly favored. Thank you all for coming out.
So you're saying that you did not attack the man with a box cutter?
That's what I'm saying. Thank you. I have Mr. Briskman, my attorney. He's the best in the state. Please speak with him with further questions or concerns.
Okay. Is there anything else that you want to say?
No, I appreciate y'all coming out.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Oh, thank y'all. I love.
She was so pleasant to the reporter. The reporter was like, "Wait a second, did she just run a flim flam on me?" Sis is she's good with those words, isn't she?
Thank you. You have a great day.
All right. Well, we are out
I
here.
want to know about this case, how she beat this case. She slashed the repo man with a box cutter back in 2018. I wonder if she got like probation or something.
Here at Mobile Metro Jail. Mobile police made an arrest earlier today. Actually, they said that this woman was arrested in Texas, 26-year-old Raven Yates. You see her now getting into the back of a Mobile police cruiser. She told us when we were asking her questions that she did not assault the repo driver with a box cutter, but that is what Mobile police say she is charged with.
Okay, give me just a second. There was another story that I wanted to show you guys, but I cannot find it. But I mean, this was actually, when was this? I mean, she's posting as of yesterday, today. She says, okay, let me show you guys this real quick. Is this it? No. Okay, this is her actual Facebook page, famous DB. So she went from like she said, I know I'm looking a mess. Like she's like a shapeshifter. Like she actually kind of here to me almost is giving me T-Boz from the 90s. Abusive dad in action. He's pressing charges on me, but he's the insane one, controlling, lying bastard. That's on February 9th. We having a meeting to stop the alerts. What is this? Sherman Dessel is inviting you to a scheduled Zoom meeting to ensure the best experience. I don't know, girl. She's trying to let people know she's having meetings. Okay. Girl, look at this person right here talking about, did they catch her? Ferrer Samantha. Okay. It's the stalker ex-husband for me. He's been a runaway dad for over a decade. Well, he wasn't runaway when he was sending food to the baby and you took off. Okay. They don't like you, but boy, do they be watching. It seems like there's always such a reoccurring theme on this internet. It's always a sorry ass cop in the mix. It's given I'm a groupie move. Due to personal reasons, I am going to be ignoring anything that feels forced, fake, unnecessary, or unaligned with my growth and healing. Okay. Okay, February 2nd, this is what she's up to on her reels. Okay. Is it giving Live Life vibes? Liv, I just want you to take a look at your future, sis. I mean, okay. She was in, okay, I was about to say, was she in Atlanta? Okay, so that's a throwback. Okay, let me find what I was actually looking for. Oops, sorry about that. Okay. She's like a whole shapeshifter. Do you see how she kind of looks different a lot? But the people commenting are like, what's going on? Why have they not caught her yet? Anyway, okay, let's get up off of here real quick and let me find the one last story I wanted to share. But looks like she's got the kids posted on her Facebook. You can find her. It's Raven Yates. I just really do think, oh, look at this. This is the little boy. This pic was right before you abandoned him. I mean, it's like, damn. And she's not deleting any of her comments. Let's see, is it all comments? That's it. So right before you abandoned him. I mean, girl. She's not deleting anything. All right, let me find what I was looking for. Give me just a second, because there were. All right, let me share with this. Someone copied and pasted the article. Wanted runaway mom. They're calling her a whole runaway mom. That is a freaking nightmare. Do you imagine? Did they post a video? Okay, no. Okay, let's read this real quick. Wanted runaway mom. This was posted on February 8th on the Montgomery County Police Reporter.com. This is the picture they posted. Okay. Have you seen her? A shocking story has emerged from Tavola County in East Montgomery County, where police say a mother secretly left her 3-year-old son in care of her 12-year-old daughter, moved to Alabama, and never returned. Sergeant Jeff Campbell with the Roman Forest Police Department says 31-year-old Raven Yates abandoned the children last September in their lovely Tavola home, valued at over $500,000. The home sits in a gated community, which normally prompts neighbors to pay more attention to unusual activity. However, most or all Yates neighbors will be shocked to learn what was allegedly happening under their noses. Modern readers, cynical from the constant onslaught of sensationalism and clickbait in this era of internet news, will likely assume the facts of this case will provide at least some reasonable and relatable information that soften the portrayal of the runaway mom and perhaps even paint her as a victim. Yeah, that's not over here. Unfortunately, with every piece of information resulting from Sergeant Campbell's investigation, this tale grows more horrific. The sergeant says Yates not only left the 2 children alone hundreds to thousands of miles from family members, she allegedly also ensured her young daughter would not reach out to anyone to help. Campbell says Yates warned the 12-year-old that if she told anyone they were left alone in Texas, the girl's father would take her away, leaving her 3-year-old brother alone to fend for himself, just like she left her to fend for herself with her brother. The girls already had to deal with a 14-year-old sister suddenly being gone when she ran away from home. Do you imagine to run away from home, like how bad it really must be? Since moving to Montgomery County, Texas, nearly a year earlier, none of the children had been enrolled in school, Campbell said. They exited the rear of the home and did not spend time in the front yard where they might have been noticed by area adults or befriended by neighborhood children. Obviously, the family was isolated when Yates lived there with her 3 children, who reportedly were not allowed to attend school or associate with anyone else. So I bet you, because her lazy ass probably didn't want to take them to school. Sound familiar? I mean, we've seen this on the internet. People who are too lazy to get up, they're up all night tricking and camming on the internet, and can't get up and take their kids to school. I mean, it's not been one mom, it's been definitely two, and there's plenty more. These women can't get up, they can't take their kids to school, and then the schools and the school districts are calling to sanction the parents because it's like either your kids are failing or you're in violation because you've got these kids in school and they have a right to an education. So then you've got people coming and knocking on your door. So she didn't get the kids enrolled probably because she was probably up late tricking on the internet. Obviously, the family was isolated when Yates lived there with the three children who reportedly were not allowed to attend school or associate with anyone else. When Yates allegedly left a frightened 12-year-old to care for a toddler indefinitely, the situation became exponentially worse. The oldest daughter, 14, ran away, managed to reach home of her maternal grandmother. She managed to get home from Texas to Alabama in one piece. Do you know how many sex trafficking weirdo sociopaths are out there waiting to get their hands on a 14-year-old? And she made it from Texas to Alabama in one piece. The oldest daughter, 14, Runaway, managed to reach the home of her maternal grandmother in Mobile, Alabama, and Yates reportedly had not attempted to return the child to the family's Texas residence. Rather, Yates, too, eventually fled to Alabama. However, Sergeant Campbell says Yates did not go to live with her mother and oldest daughter. In fact, it seems Yates' mother only knew Yates returned to Mobile because she unexpectedly saw her in public. She ran into her people. They didn't even know that she was back in town because then they would have known, well, where's the kids? So that's what happened. That's why the mom called the baby's father to see where the kids are. Well, they're still in Texas because he's been sending them food. The chance sighting of Yates by her own mother is what finally exposed the truth about the abandoned children in Texas. Yates' ex-husband, the 12-year-old's father, is a successful music producer who lives in California and travels frequently. He reportedly paid for the home in Tavola, so he's paying the house note or bought the home. And had no idea that the child was abandoned until Yates' mother called him. So girl, a mess. She was reportedly alarmed having seen her daughter without any of her children and knowing only the 14-year-old was safely in her care. The 12-year-old's father was paying the rent. Okay, so he was paying the rent and other bills in the New Caney home where Yates allegedly abandoned the two remaining children. So she has three kids, three baby fathers, because he's only the father to the 12-year-old. And they said that the 3-year-old had a different father. So she's 3 by 3. Daddy number 2 was paying all of the bills. She took off. Baby number 1 made it somehow, hitchhiking, whatever, made it to Mobile, and grandma runs into her own trashy ass slorish daughter and notices the other kids aren't there, and then she's able to track down that the other kids have been home alone for weeks. After seeing Yates in Alabama, Sergeant Campbell said her mother called the busy father of the 12-year-old, hoping he would tell her the other two were with him. That did not happen. Turns out the 12 and 3-year-old had exhausted any supply of food left in the home. The girl had been calling her father to help. Naturally, the young girl was terrified by what her mother allegedly told her would happen if people learned that they were alone. So she crafted stories about babysitting her little brother and being hungry. Her father had food delivered to the home multiple times, having no idea they were completely alone and unprotected. Beginning November 14th, 2022, and continually nightly for weeks, the 12-year-old called her father saying they were hungry and that her mom was at work, asking him to send food. He obliged, sending food nightly, having no idea that the children's true dilemma. That is not to say that the father should not have known or suspected a problem. Clearly, the father's daughter believed her baby brother's life was in her hands, and convincing her father of the false narrative would get them enough food to survive, but would not result in her removal from the home and her little brother. I mean, she's already missing her sister. This lady is fucking trash, and I hope they find her like right now. This is just the worst story I've ever heard in my whole life. This is just terrible. But it's not the result, but would not result in the removal from the home and her little brother. It was likely a very convincing performance, and one no child should ever be placed in position to enact. But many children must take on adult responsibilities every day throughout the United States. It remains unclear exactly where Yates moved in Alabama when she fled this last September. Now that her shameful and criminal Texas secret has been exposed, law enforcement in both states would like to find her so that she can be held accountable for her actions. Sergeant Campbell says Yates was already on parole in Alabama as of this posting. We don't have details on the previous charges. That was probably when she slashed the repo man in the face. Not all states have records as easily accessible online as the great state of Texas. Yates supposedly told her preteen daughter she was returning to their home state for a job. So she would say mom was at work. So that makes it was a kind of it was a lie. You know, I mean, it was the truth, but clearly still a lie. What or where that supposed job may or may not have been is unknown as this posting, because she has now seemingly vanished. Since Yates' mother saw her alive and well, it is not believed that Yates failed to return to Texas because she was somehow unable to do so, but rather that she apparently has chosen to live single and childless in Alabama, while her frightened and abandoned preteen daughter struggled to care for a toddler and was forced to live with deceiving her father to acquire food for them after they ran out of groceries. Yates' older daughter remains with the grandmother though Yates had reported her as a runaway to local authorities, saying she did so to keep herself out of trouble. Like any loving father would, upon learning Yates was in Alabama, her horrified ex husband immediately contacted local law enforcement and booked the next available flight to Houston. The father's 911 call is the moment that Roman Forest Police Department became aware of the situation and responded to the home. Sergeant Campbell said the attractive late model brick home had very little furniture inside and even less food. Furthermore, months of presumably unattended bedwetting by the toddler left a very strong and pungent odor permeating the house. Had the older two children been enrolled in school when the family moved to Tavola, someone might have realized they were in crisis sooner. If Yates' mother had not taken the initiative and reached out to the granddaughter's father, there is no way to know how much longer the 12 and 3-year-old's nightmare existence would have continued, or whether it's just, I don't know. This is awful. Whether the ending might have been far worse. Yeah, they could have just laid there and died from malnutrition. Yates has a long history as an entertainer, though she never realized any success she desperately wanted. A simple search produces multiple videos depicting her songs and multiple and varied looks. Like I was saying, she's like a whole shapeshifter, as well as a previous arrest in progress. Yates also found herself in trouble with at least one arrest caught on video. Despite dire circumstances, Yates continued to try to promote her career. So this is just, I mean, she's thirsty AF to be famous. Well, now people know who you are, okay? Um, People really do know who you are. Um, the many videos are valuable to authorities and civil, because I mean, there's a whole timeline there of her posting and her not even being in the state. So I think to me, almost every single 24 hours that she left these minor children alone should be an additional charge. So if she left her kids 60 days before they were rescued, she should have like 60 felony charges. Every single 24 hours, they should give her another count for doing this. This is just awful. So anyway, Raven Yates is now charged with 2 counts of abandoning a child without intention to return, with a 3rd-degree felony. Yates is 5'4" and weighs approximately 165 pounds. Not anymore. In addition to Vola County and Mobile, Alabama, Yates is known to have lived in San Antonio, Texas in recent years. The last confirmed sighting by her mother was in Mobile. Anyone with any information. So, I mean, she's well aware that people are looking for her. I mean, to me, she's doing some, this is the kind of stuff she's doing online. So this is what they posted. I mean, this is what she's posting. So if you are in Texas, Alabama, Mississippi, southern states, this lady is wanted. She's got braces. She's wanted. Right there, she's giving T-Boz to me in the late 90s. Isn't she? Isn't she giving T-Boz TLC? This is terrible. Anyway, guys, interesting, right? Interesting. We are going to stay on top of this because this mommy is cray. Okay. We're going to keep on top of this. Hopefully, we'll be seeing her do the walk of shame very soon. Another impromptu teleconference. Trying to throw off reporters being super duper pleasant. No. Who? I doubt. She doesn't look kidnappable. She's absolute trash. She's giving a little bit of Faith Evans too. Yeah, guys. Anyway, I thought you guys might find this interesting. Just a little bit of change of pace because this is a very extreme case, but it's just so funny to me as I was kind of looking at some of this. It was giving me so much of what we see on the YouTube streets on like a regular basis. Like a combination of things. You know what I mean? She's giving us everything that we see. But yeah, I mean, the empty house, the almost no food, the just the preoccupation with the internet, the neglect of the children, some of these kids that are, it's talked about a lot. If you guys ever watch, there's a reactor, her name is YouTuber Headlines. Her name is it Hux? It's Oakley. And she talks about a lot of white YouTube moms and many others. I mean, it's fairly diverse, but I mean, for the most part, it's some some other mommies, right? And most of them are Caucasian, right? Anyway, she talks a lot about how a lot of these moms homeschool their kids. And I think the assumption is that some of these people just don't even want to take their kids to school because they're so busy on the internet and they use these kids for content. Well, you can't do all your filming at night when the kids come home and have to do homework. So a lot of these people homeschool their kids so that they can have them work basically and keep them home from school. And they educate them at home almost to kind of make them work freaking full time. And it's true. So anyway, she has all the makings of a YouTube mom. She really does. And not a good one, but definitely of the ratchet variety. And she was giving me so much of some of the mommies that we talk about on a regular basis. I felt like it was a good little segue to add her in the mix and keep up on what is going on with Raven Yates, because Raven Yates is doing the most out here. And we are on the lookout waiting for Raven to do that walk of shame and get the silver bracelets on her arms and be read her rights, because sis is wanted on some felonies in 2 states. Okay. Trifling, period. period. Um There's nothing wrong with homeschooling. I'm talking about YouTube moms who homeschool their kids because they're too busy social mediaing and using their kids for content because the kids are clocked in working and doing content, and they are depriving them of a life outside of the home because they're being used as worker bees for YouTube channels and coin. You know what I mean? Not legit homeschool moms. I mean, homeschool is obviously a legit practice, but there are people who take advantage of homeschooling because they are too fucking lazy to get up and take their kids to school every day and be held accountable by the powers that be to turn in homework, get kids places on time, um, all of the things that are required by having your kids in public school, you know. And some people just don't deserve to have their kids in a homeschool setting because they can't be trusted. You know, there, thank God that public school is available and some kids are in public school, because if they were at home, some of these kids would just probably disappear, just to be quite honest. And, you know, unfortunately, and I hate to bring this on a Sunday, but it's true. We all know the truth, right? So I don't even have to spell it out for you guys, but there's a lot of kids that quietly disappear. And this is very unfortunate. These kids could have passed away had the girl not been finessing her dad for food. And thankfully she did. And thankfully people were caring enough to kind of be at least a little bit alert. Um, so yeah, anyway, it ended well. The kids are safe, and I'm assuming they're with the mother, they're with somebody. But yeah, so, yeah, that's it for right now, guys. I do have 3 dear Fran letters, so let me see what how this evening goes. It's 4:30 now. We've got 3 really good dear friends. I'd like to do at least 2. So give me some time to kind of reset, regroup. I came to you guys right after I cooked brunch. I made chicken, waffles, grits. I need to kind of put something else. I still have some chicken left, so I'm going to make some sides real quick, and that'll be dinner. So I want to get that in the works so I don't have to do anything else for the evening, and they can continue to graze and eat how they want to eat into the evening and have some leftovers for tomorrow. Yeah, hearing about this trifling ass mom, of course, it's like, let me go handle my mom business because that's what's important here. But yeah, I wanted to come to you guys and share this information because this is a really valid story, because we see a lot of this BS online, and it's, you know, this is kind of like the real ugly side of some of the things that we're seeing with all these people that we don't really know what's going on in their lives. We see kids being displaced, kids being removed from the home. We hear about CPS and the police coming. This is the reality. This is the reality. Okay? Um oh, thank you, Victoria. You're so sweet. A lot of you guys are excellent mom chefs. So I was just doing my thing. I mean, you know, I appreciate it. I made some homemade waffles and stuff like that. But yeah, guys, it's a sad story, but I'm glad that it's spreading around the internet to give some awareness to what is going on, because sis is freaking cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs out here. She's nuts. And I'm waiting to see when they catch up with her. And I'm sure they can probably work with Facebook and Instagram. There's no way of hiding out here. She's over here actively posting, trying to be cute. They can catch up with IPs and VPNs and all that stuff. It's just a matter of time. And if they really feel like it, they'll get the FBI involved. Sis is not untraceable. They'll find her when they, you know what I mean? Like, they could be getting ready to kick in a door right now. You never know. People think that they are being cute out here by trying to hide behind a VPN. Girl, bye. Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to let y'all go. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure to hit the like button for me. And that way I know that you guys are interested in seeing some, you know, additional, you know, content, some things are, you know, same but different. I mean, this is definitely still on track of what we normally talk about. But, you know, I'd appreciate, you know, the like. So definitely make sure to get that like button popping for me. You know, I appreciate that so much. Um, Thank you, Apple Pie. You're so sweet. Yeah. Okay, guys, I'm gonna let y'all go. Let me get to it so I can come back. When does the Super Bowl start? Like 7, 8 o'clock? I suspect if we do Dear Fran, it's not gonna be longer than an hour. So let me pop off of here and then I will pop back on and I will see you guys a little bit later. Okay. Okay, guys, I'll be just give me till like 7:30, 8 o'clock, and we'll come back and do our Dear Fran letters. Okay, we'll do that. But you guys said you'd rather watch me. Okay, I will be back 7:30, 8ish. Okay. Oh, and by the way, her name is Raven Yates. I'll put it in the I'm sure it's hashtagging right now because she's kind of trending on Facebook. But I will share it on Facebook and in my Facebook group. Raven Yates. Okay. I'll see you guys later.